If you're a Jet fan, you were all over this game, watching this game. Quarterback 1, quarterback 2, all of that. Let's get to it. Let's start with Dante Moore. Supposedly, this guy doesn't want to play for the Jets. I've heard different reports from different people, and I don't know if you want to believe it or not, because there's a lot of rumors he's going to stay in school. He's got more eligibility. And I'll tell you, after the performance last night, if I'm Dante Moore, I'm staying in school. I mean, you're making a lot of money anyway. I'm staying. After that disaster last night, I don't know if I'm coming out. But he don't want to play for the Jets. Okay, fine. Then, like I said, stay in school. I'm not crying about it, yada, yada. But one thing that and one thing that there is no doubt in my mind about is that Fernando Mendoza is the guy. And obviously the Jets don't have the first pick. The Raiders have the first pick, right? And I know there's a lot of these guys, these draft nicks like Todd McShay and Mel Kiper. These guys are, they know everything about the draft, right? Right, of course, right? And that like Dante Moore more than they like Mendoza. Are you kidding? Come on. Now, I hope that's the case. Look, if the Raiders, please, more power to the Raiders. If Moore comes out and they take him with the first pick, I'll be doing a dance. You'll see me do it. I might do a backflip. I'll be in a hospital, but I would probably do a backflip if somehow the Raiders said, we like Dante Moore better than Mendoza. Because to me, it's a no-brainer with Mendoza. He's the guy. He really is. But watching the college playoffs now, the quarterback situation has changed. The dynamic now has changed because you got to put Trinidad Chambliss of Ole Miss into the mix here. Now, what I've heard is that he had applied for another year of eligibility to stay in college, right? I guess I've heard it was denied. So he's coming into the draft. You got to look at this kid. If you're the Jets, you got to think about it. I know he's not that big. I understand. But watching this kid play, and I watched a lot of Ole Miss this year, and watching him play in the game against Georgia, where he was just magnificent, and then even though they lost in the game against the U against Miami on Thursday night, even though they lost, this kid's got something. What do they call it? The it factor? Trinidad Chambliss has the it factor. He's got tremendous escapability. He's got a big arm. He can make all the throws. If I'm the Jets and you can't get Mendoza, I got to think long and hard about Chambliss. I really do. Now, I don't know if you want to take him on the second pick. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, I guarantee, and not only Chambliss, but Carson Beck of Miami, his stock has risen too. I mean, let's be honest about it. He had a terrific game the other night in the win over Ole Miss. He was great. I mean, how many long drives, the game-winning drive with the game on the line? Twice in the fourth quarter, he led Miami down for go-ahead touchdowns, eventually the game-winning touchdown, and he ran in himself from 3 yards out with 18 seconds left. And he's a guy that's played, he's much more of a pocket passer. He can run a little bit, but this guy's played a lot of football. He reminds me of Bo Nix a lot, the Bronco quarterback, who, by the way, they got the number 1 seed in the NFL, in the AFC, as we know. He reminds me of Bo Nix because he played a lot of football. He was at Georgia for 4 years. And remember, last year, he got hurt. I forget where he got hurt, somewhere in the season, and in Stockton, Gunnar Stockton took over. And then he transferred to Miami, which turned out to be a brilliant move for him because here's Miami now, 1 win away from a national championship as well. And you look at what Miami's done in the playoffs, right? They knock off Texas A&M in College Station in a brutally windy day where you couldn't kick a field goal, and they wound up winning the game 10-3. After that, they come back and they beat Ohio State, right, and beat them pretty good, 24-14. And then we saw what they did the other night against Ole Miss. So I think Beck's got to be in the I'm going to say it this way. I guarantee you both Trinidad Chambliss and Carson Beck will be first-round draft choices. And don't be shocked, even though I don't love him, if the kid from Alabama, Tyler Simpson, he's coming out, if he's not in the first round too. But if I'm the Jets and Moore's not coming out, right, or he doesn't want to play for us, you know what he can do, okay? And he stays in school, or for some reason he comes out and the Raiders decide, we don't want to take him. You got to look at Chambliss if you're the Jets. I mean, I think you do. Now, maybe you wouldn't have to expend the second pick to get him. I don't know. You might have to think about that too. But maybe you could get him later on, right? You got the 16th pick as well. Maybe with the second pick, if you're the Jets, if Mendoza goes 1 to the Raiders, Mendoza's the guy. If Mendoza's there, you're taking him. That's it. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. But if Mendoza goes 1 to the Raiders, then maybe you could take the best defensive player on the board. Maybe the kid, what's his name, Ruben Bain from Miami. He didn't have a very good game against Ole Miss, but still. Maybe you draft him. Maybe you draft one of these. There's a couple guys, big-time defensive players on Ohio State. Maybe you go that route. I don't know. And then try to get Chambliss later on in the first round. Maybe you could do that. But look, if he's coming out and Moore's not coming, to me, I've seen both of them. Chambliss is better. You gonna tell me Chambliss? You gonna tell me Trinidad Chambliss is not better than Dante Moore? Come on. I don't care what the pundits say. Look at the eye test. Watch these guys play. You tell me who's better. Dante Moore, the biggest game of his life, stunk last night. Let's be honest. Right away, here's 7 points. Right away. Terrible pass that he threw for that interception. Unbelievable. Not a good night for Dante Moore. So we'll see. But to me, the quarterback dynamic has changed dramatically now in the draft coming up. And the Jets have much more options than just quarterback 1 and quarterback 2 in my mind. And if I'm Darren Muji, and again, I'm taking Mendoza. If I can get Mendoza, I'm taking him. That's not even a thought anymore to me. I'm taking him. And I don't know, maybe you would consider, I don't know if the Raiders would make a trade with the Jets. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the Raiders are thinking either. Maybe they are in love with Moore if he comes out. I don't know if they're in love with him, they would take him with the first pick. But I think you got to think long and hard if you're the Jets about Trinidad Chambliss. I really do. I mean, he looks. Don't tell me that Dante Moore's better than him, because he's not. Okay, he's not. I understand he's a little, and he's not that much bigger. How big? Moore's not like, Mendoza's like 6'5", 230, whatever he is. He's got that NFL size, and he's got a great arm, and he makes all the throws. I mean, he's the guy. But I'm looking at Chambliss, and I'd even look at Carson Beck. I would. I think Chambliss is better, though. I would put Chambliss ahead of. In fact, I would only put Mendoza ahead of Chambliss. That's the only guy that I have seen in college football this year, and I've watched a lot of college football. I love Arch Manning. I love him, but he's not coming out. He'll be the first pick in the draft next year. He's not coming out. So, that's the guy I would take. I'd have to think about Chambliss. Maybe not even take him at 2. Even as crazy as that sounds. Why not? Why not? He's pretty good. Somebody's going to take him, and somebody's going to be happy they did. So, we'll see. The quarterback dynamic, to me, has changed dramatically as far as what the Jets do, as far as the first, as far as their quarterback situation going forward in the draft. Now, I want to get to the coaching situation now. With all these, doesn't it, if you're a Jet fan, aren't you delirious? I talk to all my buddies, all my big Jet fan buddies, Joey T, Kenny, Kenny Scarabaggio, all the big Jet fans that are out there, right? We'll talk about, So here's all these coaches. John Harbaugh is available. I don't particularly love Stefanski, but let's be honest. Every guy, you can make a case that every coach who was fired, maybe not Jonathan Gannon, maybe I'll leave him out of it, But you could basically, and I don't even know who the coach of the Titans was. I know that's an open job now. I don't even know whoever. He's been gone for a while. But you can make a case that basically every coach that got fired this week on Black Monday, all of that, is better than Aaron Glenn. I mean, is John Harbaugh better than Aaron Glenn? Well, that's not even a thought. Kevin Stefanski, don't love him. He's better than Glenn. Mike McDaniel, don't love him. He's better than Glenn. I mean, we could go on, right? Raheem Morris, don't love him. He's better than Glenn. And all these guys are out there, right? But we got Glenn. Unbelievable. Woody Johnson's such a disaster. I mean, there's things about Woody I like that have nothing to do with football, but he is such a freaking disaster as a head coach. I mean, head coach, as an owner. It's unbelievable. So where's Harbaugh going? Is he going to the Dolphins? I mean, to me, if I'm John Harbaugh, okay, and obviously, look, would you rather be in East Rutherford, New Jersey, or would you rather be in South Beach? I mean, to me, it's not even, if you're asking me, you know where I'm going. Okay, I've been to East Rutherford. Okay, I've been here long enough, close enough. And I understand the Giants have a quarterback in Jackson Dart. That's no question about it. They got a quarterback. And they got a good situation. They got a lot of good young players there. You got Neighbors coming back. You got Scatterboo coming back. You got the 5th pick in the draft. There's a lot of good things. You got a great ownership there. You got all the tradition that the Giants bring to the table and all of that. And you got a franchise quarterback. There's no doubt in my mind. To me, that's the most attractive job out there because of that, with all the openings. But even though Tua is going to be gone in Miami, I know they don't have a GM yet. I know they're working on that too. But that's what you hear. I know JJ, my buddy John Jastrzemski, is, he's doing a dance that Harbaugh's coming to the Dolphins. So we'll see. And, there's a lot of rumblings. I guess Stefanski's already interviewed with the Giants, right? Antonio Pierce is interviewed. I like Antonio Pierce a lot. I like him. He's a tough guy. I think he brings a lot of that. I liked what he did with the Raiders. I thought they kind of dumped him kind of quickly. I don't know. Who knows? But I'd be a little leery about bringing in. He was a very good player for the Giants, won a Super Bowl with him. I'd be a little weary about bringing in a guy who played for me. Look at the situation with the Jets, with Glenn. So maybe they're going to hire Stefanski. I still think there's a shot that Harbaugh could be the guy. We'll see. But really, seriously, if you are a Jet fan, you are saying to yourself, how is it possible that all these guys are out there, all these different coaches, all who are better than Aaron Glenn? I mean, I'm sorry. I know he's only been there 1 year. Better than Aaron Glenn. And they're all looking for a job, and we got Glenn. Think about it. And we got Glenn. What a disaster. It's really, and who knows? There might be more. Look, I would say that Matt LaFleur and Mike Tomlin could very well get fired as well. If Green Bay loses tonight, actually, the game is, which I won't see because it's on Prime or whatever, it's nonsense. But if the Packers lose to the Bears tonight, he might get fired, LaFleur. If the Steelers lose another playoff game, right? If they lose Monday night, I'll be rooting for them too because I want to see Aaron Rodgers make a run after after that brilliant decision to dump him, and bring in Justin Fields for $30 million. But whatever. If Mike Tomlin loses another playoff game on Monday night, they might let him go too. I mean, I don't think it's beyond the realm. So you might even see more guys. You might even see more openings and more, certainly in Mike Tomlin's case, and both of them, LaFleur and Tomlin. I mean, come on. I mean, those guys, I would think they're pretty damn desirable head coaches, right? If they do get fired. So we'll see what happens. A lot of openings. You hear Robert Saleh. I've heard Robert Saleh's name mentioned in a couple places. Arizona. He's going to get a job. Saleh's definitely getting another head coaching job. I've also heard him with the Ravens. I've heard him as a deal with McDaniel as his OC because they're very tight. Going somewhere. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to play out? But we got Glenn. Don't fear, Jet fans. We have Glenn. And here's the other thing you got to remember, too. This bothers me, too. With this young quarterback that we're going to draft, right? And like I said, it's opened up to me as far as I said. Chambliss has to be in the mix now. This young quarterback that we're going to draft, do we really want Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff developing this guy? Oh, my God. Okay. Anyway, 888-808-1019. Benigno on a Saturday. We're here till the J-O-M, John, right? John Boy preview, or review, preview, whatever it is, coming up at 7. The NFL, right? Okay, and then Monday night, of course, you got the Steeler Houston game, which is in Pittsburgh, right? So you got 3 night games in the NFL playoffs, right? Every one of them is in a place where it's freaking freezing in January. Green Bay, Foxborough, where it's supposed to be about 12 degrees. I don't know what the weather's going to be tonight in Green Bay. And then Pittsburgh, not exactly, balmy. So you couldn't have played the Jaguar Bills game. That couldn't have been one of the night games. You got a game 4:30 in the afternoon in Carolina. That couldn't have been one of the night games? Nah. Why would that be? What a joke. It's a joke. Let the fans freeze their asses off. Who cares? Right? Roger Goodell. I don't have enough bad words to say about Roger Goodell. Pete Rozelle, who's the greatest commissioner in the history of sports in my mind, okay? Great. Without it, not even close. He's got to be doing double rollovers in his grave when he watches what this you-know-what is doing to the NFL. It's unbelievable. Really. Got a game in Jacksonville, Florida. How about playing that game at night? You got a game in Charlotte, North Carolina. How about playing that game at night? Nah. Let's play the night games in Green Bay, Foxborough, and Pittsburgh. What a joke. The NFL's I don't know what to say. All right, 888-808-1019, Ross and Bergen to kick us off. Ross, how are you, bro?
Joe, what's up, man? Good to talk to you.
All the love.
Real quick, before we get into the college or everything, you got another podcast on the horizon over at Hackensack?
Probably not until the weather turns, bro. Probably in the spring. I would say the next one we'll do will be opening day, which I can't wait as a Met fan for opening day. But I don't want to get into that.
You brought up dancing before. You know, I got every dance in the book ready to go for when they announce their starting lineup. It's going to sound like a AAA team.
Well, don't think they're signing Kyle Tucker anytime soon. So don't hold your breath for that. Unless he decides that he'll take 1 year at $1 million. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I heard through the grapevine though, a buddy of mine who he had the Frankie Montes signing last year. So I don't know how legit it is. He said we got Framber though. He said it's basically pen to paper that we got Framber Valdez.
Really? I'd be shocked. Yeah. Oh no! Look, I'm down.
Be too.
I'm
hoping that's the Valdez he was talking about. Maybe there's some Valdez that's like in Double A that maybe we signed, but
that could be. He's got the right guy, the former Houston. I
should have asked him. Yeah.
Maybe he's paying Stearns. Maybe he's contributing. Maybe he's contributing money to Steve Cohen's casinos. Maybe he's doing that. Maybe that's why.
The city's a nightmare, bro. And one last thing too. I'll get into the college. I don't know if you heard. The owner of our basketball and hockey team at the station earlier this week.
No, I know he was on, but I didn't hear him. No.
Yeah. Well, on the hockey front, he said Jury's pretty much a shoo-in that he's good to go the rest of this year and onward. That his job's safe. And he said it was because of the culture. So one last thing, if we're talking about, he said it takes time. He said he likes Jury because it takes time to build and establish a culture. So it's no problem firing the coach every 2 years, but the GM could see 4 or 5 head coaching changes. But the head coach can't survive the culture change.
And not only that, but look at the guys he got rid of. He got rid of Jacob Trouba. He got rid of Chris Kreider, who I think he has about 20 goals already so far for Anaheim. Bro, they can't win a game at home. They can't win at home. They won 5 games at home all year. Now Shesterkin's out. God knows how long he's going to be out. Fox is out. God knows how long he's going to be out. They can't score. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke. And you're keeping this guy there?